Hey YouTube. So, I'm going to do a video about all the problems that the lt230s Quad Sport has. And mine in particular too has almost every one of them. So, I'm going to start off by saying these are awesome machines. I'm not saying don't buy them. They're great machines. I love this one. I've had it for 5 some odd years now. I've done a lot of work to it. Most of it being necessary. A lot of it being upgrades. But we won't get into that. I got other videos on that. So, we'll start off with the swing arm assembly. Mine in particular has gone through, I think, 5 or 6 sets of swing arm bearings, 2 carrier bearings, and I don't know, I put a chain on it every year. And as you can see, looking up this, my sprocket is not in line with my chain and my front sprocket. I'm still working on figuring that one out. I really don't know what the problem is because it's not the tensioners. They have been tightened and are functional. I know it doesn't look like it. I had to bore the holes out and put bigger ones in because the original's stripped. I've never stripped an axle on this machine. That's the original axle. The spines are in great condition. But the swing arm bearings just do not last. No matter what brand I've bought, they don't last at all. It's really too bad because once the chain starts falling off, pretty quickly, you're gonna take out this guy here. Not so much the cover. The cover is really not what I'm talking about. It's the case behind it. When the chain falls off, it binds up, takes the case out. That case is several $100s to replace, and they don't make them anymore. So you gotta buy a used one, and finding them is really hard. Thankfully, I haven't had to. This one's still original, uncracked, minus this crack, which was from a chain falling off. But didn't take out the engine case, which is great. Don't mind all the oil and everything everywhere. I did some serious mud into this thing a few days ago, and everything just got covered in everything. So, the carrier bearings, swing arm bearings, very big problems with these. The rest of the machine is actually fairly solid. The bushings in the front end here, for whatever reason, they're very expensive to replace, and I'm talking about these A-arm bushings right here. Uppers, lowers, fronts, backs. They're just terrible. I think they're $68 per side. And when I say side, I mean like one upper and a lower. They're really expensive to replace. It's like $250, almost $300 to do the whole front end. It's kind of ridiculous for a little bearing, but I'll tell you what it is. And they go out pretty quickly. You're lucky to get a couple of years out of a set. Ball joints, if you buy a good pair, they'll last a while. You don't have to worry about those too much. The other problem I could think of is after I upgraded my exhaust, my carburetor, and put the high compression piston in it, since then, which is about a year ago now, I've had to put, I think, 2 clutch packs in it. And it took me on the second clutch pack to realize that it wasn't the clutch pack's problem, it was the springs. So what I have for springs in this one, I'm actually looking at the wrong side, that's the stator cover. I got springs from an lt250R in this thing with a Outlaw Racing clutch kit. And with the 250R springs, I'm not gonna lie, it works good. No slipping at all, nothing like that. It's solid, smooth, dependable. Haven't had a single problem since I did that. So if you upgrade your engine, upgrade your clutch springs. It's gonna pay you back in the long run, guaranteed. You'll stop spending out on clutch plates all the time, because I've put a lot of clutches in this machine since I've owned it. I even put a clutch basket because the clutch basket got in a fight with the case. If you have aluminum wheels for the front, they make 2 thicknesses. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head. One's thicker than the other. I got the thicker ones, and even then, they still dent when you hit things hard. It's hard to see in the video, but these rims are very, very warped. I've hit many things in my years of riding it, and they bend. And also, when you start gearing this thing, right now I'm running a 13 tooth in the front and a 39 in the back for my gearing. I think it does about 53, 54 miles an hour, absolutely wide open throttle. But with that being said, I have, my first gear is like second gear on most other wheelers. It's pretty steep. and it wears out your clutch a lot trying to take off. So for this particular gearing setup, it's not really made for tight trails. It's more of like a sand pit, dunes, riding, just, you know, trail riding, but not too tight of trails. It doesn't really like that with the gearing. Other than that, that's pretty much the only real problems I've had with this machine. Most of them are in the back section of it. It's just a poorly designed area. I've heard you can upgrade it to a 250R swing arm. I've heard that. Don't quote me on it. I've heard it. Don't know how much truth is to that, but, you know, as people say it can be done, I wouldn't mind doing it because I want to extend mine anyway. I think this is the stock axle, like from just a regular 230. I heard a 250R axle will fit in these. I haven't done that either, but I kind of want to because I want to stance it out a little bit, make it look a little more modern, I guess. But yeah, that's just a little quick video on any of the problems that you might have when you purchase one of these. Thank you, YouTube. Have a good night.